I do believe my superpower is faded, the power to troll. I threw something in yesterday's video on why I crossbows over bows. And I mentioned it was a troll. It obviously is. Because it was, why is this crossbow superior to longbows? And that was a trick question. Let's look at some things here. It's something to think about. And also, as a side note, I've often wondered, during the Civil War, when it was predominantly just muzzle loaders, I do believe near the end they had cartridges, but that notwithstanding, they were using old field tactics. You take a bunch of people here, you take a bunch of people here, and you just walk at each other and lose through attrition. I often wonder if they were using these ancient battle techniques that weren't really suited to firearms. What would have happened if one of the sides, say in one of these marching at each other battles, had used English longbows? Yeah, much greater rate of fire, greater effective range. Bows would have been superior in some of those battles. But that kind of goes along with what I'm talking about today. Let us see here. I have two bows, two different forms, and let us take this, even though it's a flat bow. It is not an English longbow or an English war bow by any means, but it has the same basic functionality and form, just like a Cherokee longbow, Cherokee war bow, or a Bassa in Africa. Both basically the same form, just different ways around it. They were very long, very heavy, and good artillery bows. So let's say English longbow, a Bassa war bow, or a Cherokee longbow. Would that be superior to this 45 pound, very short, quick bow? Or would this thing, with these heavy bolts, would this be superior? Think about it while I range this up. It's actually that is a stupid question. That is a stupid question, and I believe that a person would be foolish to say that any of these things are superior. Just like they would say, what would be superior? Somebody that doesn't know how to use their AR platform against somebody that has an accurized 9130, a Mosin? Depends on so many factors. In certain situations, any of these would be superior to other ones in any situation. You're thinking about, are you offensive or are you defensive? Are you in an open field or are you in a thick swamp like back there? In the case of a thick swamp, this would definitely be, out of the three, in a one-to-one bow and arrow battle, the superior one, the short, quick, not as far as an effective range, but you're not talking about 300-yard shots in a swamp. There are certain situations where, again, my sincerest say, whatever, I'm not going to waste time with words, to the English with great national pride in their longbow, which I admire. Makes you easy to troll, But there would be certain situations where this would definitely be superior over that crossbow. Given the fact that the archers are within a certain distance of the approaching troops. You've got cavalry, you've got infantry leading away, and then this is just artillery, softening up the crowd and shooting the horses. Armor doesn't matter, if your horse falls and you land in mud. Sometimes this crossbow would be effective, especially in a defensive position when you know where the people are coming from, and you might have a line of people. And that even extends to how fast can you make these things. These are much faster to make than fletched arrows. So there is no superior. If anybody tells you, like I told you yesterday, this is superior to the bow, it was a troll. It depends on so many circumstances. And that's about it. Man, I'm in my glory. I've got so much cool stuff sitting on the ground here. And I am working up, I don't know if it's courage or foolishness, to use this crossbow at full draw. I'm still planning on what kind of a target I'm going to use and distances and stuff like that. Am I going to have the camera set up behind me for 2 shots so you can see the thing whizzing off, and then me actually yanking it back, potentially like driving a limb if it breaks through my head? We're having 2 and 2. 2 shots behind so you can see it flying, and then 2 at the impact zone so you can hear it. BAM! Going through 1/2-inch plywood or something like that. But yeah, those are just something to think about, because just like I mentioned systems, crossbow, the bolts, a shield for definitely a defensive position, not offensive. I mean, I would be screwed if I had this crossbow in that swamp and there was a good archer with one of these things that could circle around me, hide behind trees, because this is not able to traverse very easily. And you know, there's a lot of stuff to carry where you could run down deer trails with this thing and a quiver full of arrows. You know, all it takes is one against one person, you know, to stop things really quickly. A bit of trivia. I'm going to give you the answer. What rifle did 5 out of the 10, I believe it's 5 out of 10, it could be 4, but still that's pretty substantial. Which rifle did, let's say, 4 out of the 10 highest scoring snipers of all time field? I think it's 5. Could be 4. A Mosin 9130 or a variant. In the case of the Finnish sniper, I forget his name, White Death they called him, hunted in snow, survived World War I or World War II. He used a variant where the Finns captured Russian 9130s and then redid them, put heavier barrels on them and did some stuff. But the other 3 used basic 9130s. Ludmila actually used her basic service rifle. It wasn't one that was weeded out as a sniper rifle. She used her basic 9130, and then when she scored enough hits, they gave her a scope. The other 2 did not use scopes. They just used iron sights. There was another Russian, I forget his name, and then there was a Chinese fellow during the Korean War. He used basically the 9130s, and that goes to show you that that system not only includes this, speaking metaphorically because we're bridging the gap between this and firearms, the arrow, the quiver, it also really includes the person. Duh. The most important part of that weapon system is the person pulling the trigger or drawing the bow. Little known fact. Highest scoring snipers. Well, that is all. I think I threw my troll out there. Didn't get any bites, but you know, that's life. This is going to be tricky. I'm not going to do all 4 of these things in the same color pattern. I'm going to have some black and yellows with spirals. They're each going to be individuals, just like individual people. But altogether, this is substantial. And give me your best thoughts, because this is imposing. Don't do it don't do this at home. Drawing a bow that's well over 100 pounds. I think it's 32 inches. Not knowing if the thing's going to explode in your face. Hopefully it's not. But this thing does scare me a little bit. Have a good one. Thank you for watching. That is all.